Good evening, everyone, and welcome to God's Way, YTVY, the Spiritual Viewpoint. I'm your host, Thomas Knights Templar, and this is my co-host sitting in for Adolphina Shephard tonight, Mary Silvernail. Say hello, Mary.
Hi, everybody. So happy
little
to be
wave.
here. Little wave, too.
Okay.
So happy to be here tonight. Thank you for having me.
Introduce our guest.
And this is Kirsten Sciallo. And Kirsten, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm a Karuna Holy Fire Reiki Master Teacher, and I'm a special education teacher, and I've been teaching for 18 years and absolutely love what I do.
Very good. Very good. And to my left is Josephine Perone. Josephine, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
I am a spiritual intuitive healer, which encompasses many things. The list go on and on. But I'm beloved, encompassing or from the order of the Melchizedek order, and I'm graciously elated to be here. And thank you very much.
Wow, that was tough, wasn't it?
Yeah, I got a cramp. I got something in my throat.
That's okay. That's okay. Tonight our subject is our interactions with angels, and basically how we have had angels in our lives and how our angels help us in our everyday practices that we do, and in our healings and just helping people in general. We'll start over here with Josephine. Josephine, primarily, do you use one archangel or several archangels, or I use several?
Definitely several. I mean, there's probably about 20 or 30 in my entourage on a daily basis. And also various other entity beings of light that also assist in the healings and the knowledge and the wisdom and the profound comprehension that I need to have in order to be able to see, feel, hear what I need to do with with the person that's in front of me or the situation that needs to be dealt with.
Going by the situation that the person or the particular problem the person has, there's a particular archangel that you call upon to help them, or is it a multitude?
There usually is a multitude. I mean, you know, usually the 10 or 11 archangels that I usually call upon on a daily basis. And there are other ones that float in and out depending on what situation you're in. Of course, it's Michael, Archangel Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, Jophiel, Haniel, Zachiel, Raziel, Tazkiel, Sandalphon, Archangel Samael, I mean, Cassiel, I mean, the list goes on and on.
Metadrin?
Metatron.
Metatron, oh my goodness.
Mostly known as Metatron, Tommy,
okay.
but you do pronounce it differently
Metadrin.
Because that was an enlightenment for you,
they told me.
right?
They
That's
told me.
beautiful.
They told me.
That's
As a
beautiful.
matter of
You were
fact, it
impinged
was-
upon.
It was Zedekiah who told me.
Oh.
Right, Metatron is the white diamond light that's flowing through, and we see with our eyes, we can see the white diamond light. That's from Metatron.
Okay, that's good.
Well,
And his sacred geometry, that's the solar circles that are coming in through the atmosphere.
Okay.
Actually, the 13th that just passed was a very special day and night because the golden Christ light came in, and about 2 o'clock in the morning, I was sitting outside with some friends, and I looked up in the sky, and you could see that there was a golden hue in the clouds.
Was it the moon's aura?
It wasn't.
It was just
It
something
wasn't.
separate.
I looked for that. It was separate. And I heard, the angel knock on my head, because they usually go like that when I'm not paying
Sure,
attention.
was it a
Look up.
woodpecker? 2 o'clock in the morning could have been.
No, remember, I'm always fully cognizant all the time.
But Metatron, there's an angel that we have on the desk here of Metatron, the golden one, that it shows the sacred geometry that he's holding in his hands. That's one of the angels I had brought from my office, Tommy.
Yes.
Yeah, and Metatron works, I have found anyway, in my healing sessions, and I know Kirsten too, in her healing sessions, weren't we talking about how Metatron works beautifully with special needs children? And that is your specialty, correct?
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do
Well,
in your healings and how you work with the angels?
absolutely. I'm every day bringing in, lately Gabriel and Michael with my healings for whatever reason or another. I'm kind of guided to be using them.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I'll be, just doing a session, and all of a sudden I just feel guided to
You
be
can
able
feel their
to,
presence.
and that's it. But it seems to be Gabriel and Michael lately.
Have you in the past used multitudes of angels to do healings?
With the healings, I have, but just specifically, which I'm finding interesting, it just seems to be Gabriel and Michael. I
Like
don't.
right now, you're
Right,
saying,
currently.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because you've told me at other times that you have used other angels too, but you're reminding me a lot of
Claudia.
who
Claudia?
only, go
Claudia
ahead.
specifically
Yeah?
Yeah,
is Saint
listen.
Raphael. She said to me one time, she goes, well, he couldn't be at your house because he lives with me. She said to me, so I was like, oh, okay.
She cracks me up.
But she's a terrific.
Wonderful healer.
Yes, she is.
Wonderful healer, divine woman.
She's been seeing the Blessed Mother since she's 3 years old.
And she only strictly works with Archangel Raphael.
Okay,
Yes.
that's really interesting.
Yes.
But
so
I did send
that's-
her angels
yeah.
the other night, archangels to her.
Yes.
Yeah, she needed a little help on something.
Yeah.
And
Well, inclusion, there's also
Well,
Blessed
see-
Mother Mary, Kuan Yin, there's
Oh,
Isis,
yes.
there's all those encompassing archangels as well.
that's right.
And the Ascended
Well,
Masters.
the Ascended Masters, the
Ascended
Avatars,
Masters.
I mean, you never know exactly who's coming in until you feel a different energy and you're like, who's this? And they'll tell you.
And I always say,
it
who's
is.
this? And they don't tell me,
Yeah.
say, you didn't bring cake?
But it's true God from true God, true light from true light, because we want to make sure that we're never encroached upon by any other
You've
energies.
dealt with special needs children. I remember we had these conversations, and
Yes, that was the joy
general-
of my life, as for the
Well,
10 years.
We'll tell everybody in our audience how that their energies and how they are affected by entities around, because they have these particular.
Well, that's true. During the process of working with them, I could tell if there was an encroachment of an entity, depending on the schools where they went. Some of the buildings are very old, and you could tell when they had an entity attachment with them. And I would just basically walk over and just, give it a whole finger snap in the name of the Christ, be gone. In my head. Remember, no need to talk out loud.
If we would have talked out loud, they may not have understood what you were saying anyway.
Yeah.
But
And right, we also helped heal them in many different ways. Send energy healing and
change
blessings.
them and change them too.
Yeah,
change
for
their
the
behavior
for the
for the
time
better.
that I had them. Yeah, they a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the afternoon. But like I said, usually in the evening when I would go to sleep, I would see their souls come and say hello, or thank you for this, or thank you for that, or you were so kind to me. Wonderful things like that.
Well, Adolphina had said that with these children, because of until the world ascends to the proper level of love and beauty, that these children prefer to stay like that in their own world, so they are not attached to this world. And then they will snap out of it.
Well, I happen to know plenty of special needs children that are very gifted.
Yes.
And sometimes you had to do a clearing on them, or teach them, if this is encroaching upon you, I don't like the way you feel. I was like, this is what you do. And they would follow through on it. They were like, okay, I'll do that. And it usually worked. It empowered them. Remember, it's about empowerment. Never let them feel like they're helpless. Give them the encouragement to strengthen their resolve, and give them a simple mode to do something that would give them control and be rid of these the entities or whatever was encroaching upon them. Because they do have a great heightened sense of
Yes, they
seeing,
do.
hearing, feeling.
All their
Five
senses.
senses are higher.
Right, and they sometimes they don't have the sixth sense, which is a sense of humor.
Oh, okay. The same question to you.
Same question to me. Can you repeat it one more time? Because
Again?
I was
Okay.
so focused on your
And then
answer.
I have a question
Because
too
you
for
deal
Kirsten.
with special needs children.
Every day.
I have a soft spot for children. I had 3 grandchildren. They live with me and drive me crazy, but thank God they're the way they are, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But when you're dealing with special needs children, do you have the angels and archangels specifically try to remove these issues from them?
Pretty much every day on my way to work, I'm calling upon the angels to guide me in any way, shape, or form that they possibly can. And as I go to work, when I'm looking at these children, I just, coupled with the love that I have in my heart for them,
You instantaneously raise their vibration.
That's
exactly what you're doing.
it's-
They were just saying that. as they were saying that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Well, can I ask you something? While you're in school teaching, because you teach special needs
Yes.
students, do you ever give some of your Holy Fire Karuna Reiki?
Absolutely. But
Well, that's what I wanted to know. And what difference did you see? I would like to understand that.
for me, honestly, it's life-changing. You
Yes,
know,
it
get
is.
choked up a little bit talking about it.
It's okay.
These children come into my classroom and they're hurting from whatever that they've been through. And I just love them, and it's God's love and the angels, and that's all they need.
My niece is also a special ed teacher, and she tells me about it, and she was having some kids that were really, really tough because they have emotional issues too, they're attached to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I gave her some metaphysical training, you know, some tips on how to do things and how to clear a classroom and clear that energy and prepare everyone to love
That's
energy.
extremely important.
Okay. And she has done that, and it has gone better for her. You know, I mean, it has gone better for her. I also had another teacher who was having other issues, and I gave her some metaphysical principle, and that situation turned around immediately, which was very good.
Tools and components, as we call them.
Yes.
Well, you've had some special experiences in healings that you were telling me about with pets and with adults and a variety of different people and
Yes.
souls and lives. And
Yes.
could you just share a little bit about that?
Absolutely. One that comes to mind is my sister's dog was actually taken to the vet, had some sort of diagnosis that the dog was going to be paralyzed. And I asked my sister, who was kind
Was it
of...
a tumor on the spine?
Actually, I don't know, something on the
It's
spine.
a tumor. It's a tumor. I've seen it. I just saw it.
Okay. And my sister is sometimes a little skeptical, but I was like, please, you know, can I please work with her dog's name's Scotty? And she said, absolutely. So I did. I just used the Holy Fire, you know, and the dog is running around like he's a puppy, and you know, I mean, he's still kind of a little gimpy, but he...
It changes them.
Yeah.
It really, it's a divine, you know, it's just a divine thing that changes the animal. I have a friend of mine who lived in Long Island, you met Jo, and she had a Maltese. The dog was 11 years old when it was diagnosed, I believe, with cancer. And myself and Claudia worked on the dog. And the dog, with the cancer and everything else, lived a relatively healthy life to 17. Wow. And that is the limitation for that dog's breed.
Yes, I have 2 Maltese, I know.
Then you know.
Yes, I do. I know
Okay.
very well.
And, you know, I was working on the dog again to try to extend it, and the dog was getting better. But I knew it was at the end of life expectancy, and the dog wanted to leave. You know, it was time. You know.
Peacefully send the soul, quiet the soul, and give it some,
Well,
some
I
love,
believe
and
that-
if
I believe
they
that-
can leave peacefully.
Trying to extend it, got her the extra couple of days or weeks, whatever it was, and then she went, I guess, in her sleep, and that was that.
And then eventually she'll come back
Well-
and be renewed in a new body. Eventually. That's what anyway, I believe that I'm in the middle of that right now myself.
I know.
But my dog Bailey, who was a Maltese, he's passed on now. I had an orthopedic doctor specializing in, a vet, specializing in the hip and the back and all that. And then he's wanted to operate on Bailey when he was less than a year old. But because I used my healing energies of the Holy Fire Karuna, Reiki, on Bailey on a daily basis, as you know, I've shared that with you. He lived until he was 11 and a half. He was almost 12 years old, and he never had to have an operation.
Well, that's good.
And he
because
loved he would come to me to get his Reiki. You know,
He
he
loved
loved
the energy,
it. Yeah, they know.
They
Pets
do.
really know.
They do.
They're highly
I know
intuitive.
that Christine also does that. Christine has been on the show a lot. She does the Reiki. She does Reiki on the animals. It helps them to pass when they're, you know, at that stage.
Very good point.
What I do is I do end of life prayer to have them. I have angels and archangels meet them. I do this with adults and people too, and I tell them. I said to them when I'm doing the prayers, I'm calling on the angels, that you will see the person get really beautiful, look well, and then after the whole family gathers, her numbers will decline and she'll slowly slip away.
That's called the surge. The surge happens just so that my husband's in the audience. He experienced it with his mother. They're sick. All of a sudden, they come forward. Their voice is clear. They say the things that they want to. That's
right.
a beautiful thing. It doesn't happen for everyone.
It is.
I've done so many. Come out and say, you know, this is anybody who I've done wrong. Forgive me. I forgive everyone. You know, everyone stayed unified. And make sure that you all take care of each other, yada, yada, and then the next day they're gone.
It's also
And he was like,
very-
how could that be if she just, you know, seemed like she was fine? Her voice was clear, her energy was up. I said, that's called a surge. Her soul had to come rise up to say what she needed to say so she could leave peacefully.
But that's beautiful.
That is beautiful.
That is absolutely
That's why I never cried
divine.
about a situation
Divine.
like that. I think that is divine. So he had that experience, and he talks about it all the time. I said that was the surge, and that was divine.
That's what they do.
That
So
is beautiful, beautiful.
It was Joanne's boyfriend's mother who was very ill, and she was just lingering on and on and on in the hospital, and
she might have been trying
she
to
asked-
raise her vibration so that she could.
well, what
Pass
happened
on
was
quick.
is that she asked me if I can do a prayer. They all got together, they all held hands, including the nurses and the doctors, and they repeated a prayer that I gave her, and she did exactly that. She rose up, she got beautiful, and then after the whole family was there and gave her permission to leave, they all said, "Mom, go, you can go. You're free to go." And her numbers declined, and she went. You know, and that's when I've called on the angels to do that. Basically to guide them out of this world and into the next, where they'll be at home, paradise with God and the angels.
And Archangel Michael is just
Absolutely.
waiting to carry the soul directly up to the light, protecting it
Absolutely.
all the way. Beautiful. And it's really important to call on, especially Michael, at that time at the end of life. The other thing I have to tell you that I truly believe in is loosening the chakras for a person who's ready to make
depart,
their
yes.
passage, because it just makes it gentler and easier for them to lift.
For the spirit.
Yes. Yes.
Do you see the spirit leaving through the throat chakra or through the crown?
Okay. Well, can I tell you that as a medium, as you know, many times when I'm in a reading, what happens is I feel how the person, I actually get the physical feeling of what part of the body, whether the heart or whatever. However, either they leave through the solar plexus or they're leaving through the crown. This is really, I'm telling you, this is what I feel. And I truly, truly believe that because of what I see in my readings.
I'll validate that for you.
Thank you very much.
I'm a medium as well. I've seen many bodies lift through the solar plex.
Yes.
And sometimes through the chakra if it's open enough.
Sometimes. But you're right. Mostly through the solar plexus. Absolutely.
Are you a medium?
Because that's the closest.
Not that I'm aware of.
I'm an extra large.
I was trying to make a joke.
Not yet.
No?
Not yet. Oh, that comes. Just
Well,
wake up
But
one
you're
morning.
highly intuitive.
Right.
And part of the healings that you do, I know because you've worked in my office and I know what you do. And Kirsten has helped me many times when we work on stage 4 cancer patients, and we do it together. And we find it very powerful, the healing for us together. We combine it.
When you combine it, Christina and I do that a lot.
Very special.
Yeah.
We combine the
relationship
energies.
develops.
We've just done here tonight 3. And it's really
I felt
draining.
your hands when you came out of your
I know.
session.
They were like red hot,
Yeah.
and I do call upon the angels of the specific issues. Like people don't understand is that your guardian angels and all the guardian angels, you can call upon them. There's an angel for every aspect that you can think of in life. you know. And when it comes to a healing, if a person has, say, for instance, Parkinson or cancer or something, I call on specific angels that handle that thing, and I call upon their medical, surgical team and their medical team to intervene, okay? And these teams are usually made up of others other than just angels, you know, interplanetary entities too, enter in on that. So
what I found the most beautiful is that if I call them a charge, or we'll call them a charge. I used to call them sheep, but that's not, that's antiquated. A charge. You charge somebody that you love, that you've been with for a long time, whether it be 5 years, and they're very ill, and you've gotten them through various different phases with knowledge, the wisdom, the healing.
yes.
And as you enlighten them, they become very enlightened. The more time they spend around you, your energy is always raising their vibrations and healing them. They become more clairvoyant, more clairsentient. It is, you know, it's a beautiful ascension for them.
Well, I love when people start telling me they're seeing things or they're dreaming things.
Well,
after I talk to them.
but the beautiful thing is that I'll be, you know, if I'm not there, I'll be on the phone and I'll be like, you know what, this beautiful angel in the corner. I said, why don't I have you talk to your angel, that's the nursing angels, that's been watching over you for the last 20 years. And I'll let them do that, and I'll say, let's ask some questions. You know, of course, I'll surround them in the white light of Christ, and they'll talk to the angel themselves, and they're like, thank you for letting me do that. I would have never known that I could do that.
Oh,
I said, you are as loved and gifted as I am, and I'm sharing my light with you so that your light can expand, and you can share that gift with others.
That's the thing that most people can't comprehend. They can't comprehend it. They can contact within themselves the God presence in them, which opens up the doors to your healings, which also enables you to accept your angels, and your angels come to help you. They cannot help you unless you surrender to them and ask them to come into your life.
Free will.
Free will.
I always tell it is like, give your will to God, to Christ, the Holy Spirit, and all the angels that encamp with the divine.
That's right.
I said, and call to them, and they will answer you.
And
all you have to say is, Michael, I need you now, and he's here.
he's always with me.
I
I'm like
know,
Calamity Jane.
but
He's got to be
no,
with me.
But I'm really serious. I mean, I tell a lot of my clients that you know, when you feel that you need extra help, just say, I need you now. Guardian angel, I need you now. Gabriel, I need you now. Boom, they're there. They're waiting in the wings. I explain that, you know, I write an angel, you know, I write two angel columns, okay, for newspapers, magazines. I do a lot of angel groups and things like that. And the whole thing is that is the key factor to let people know, that's what my columns are about, to let people know how they can call upon particular angels for particular things, or any angel at any time to just come or just say, angels, I need you now, and they're here.
You know what it is?
And that's it. It's so easy. Boom.
The average person, all right.
We have to put that in their awareness because they forget.
Exactly, and that's why I write
through
my
every
column.
session.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Mother Mary comes through sometimes, and she'll, you
Right.
know, or the angels come through, and I'm like, this is your guardian angel, this is your top angel, this is an angel coming through to teach you this skill, that skill, this is what you need to do, and you know, call upon it. And then they're like, yeah, that name sounds so familiar. I hear it ringing in my ears, but I don't know who it is. It's like, that's your guardian angel, your top angel. I said, that's why the names resonate to them, because they've heard it before, they feel it, they know it.
Well, like I was saying, most people go about their lives, you know, in this world, you know, with blinders on, and they're indoctrinated in their particular religions or whatever they're involved in. And when they hear, you know, I can't believe that you can just snap something out and get rid of illness or something like that, because they've been told that only God grants miracles, and He does, okay?
See them every day.
But the miracles, all we do is intervene. We actually are the go-between.
Right.
That's all.
Intercessor.
Okay? We're the intercessor. And we say, you know, we want this, and this is our intention, and boom, it happens. And people say, oh, I can't believe you could just do that. I went to see my doctor. He thinks you're nuts. I said, are you better now? All right, how many years you been seeing your doctor?
You see, but that's not all true. I know many doctors who, some of them are relatives of mine, they are medicinal healers, and I'm the spiritual healer. And together,
you can work wonders.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
She calls on me she's like, somebody said, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I gave me your number. I was like, okay, I'll take care of that part of it. And then we'll talk about, some aspects of the situation, and I'll explain it to her and what the spiritual aspect of it. She said, and she's fine, but she's the most generous, magnanimous person, because she was, she was Saint Teresa of Avila in a past life. Still looks like her, still walks around with no shoes on, and is still the most generous soul in the universe. It's amazing.
You sure she wasn't up in Woodstock?
Saint Teresa of Avila from the 1500s?
She was walking around barefoot today.
She's a geriatric doctor, and graduated in 2000 from med school. She's the most magnanimous person you ever met.
You know what I have noticed too that I would like to ask all of you? It's amazing to me many times the people that come into my office. It's how do they find you? Have you ever noticed that yourself? And have you noticed? I mean, really, have you ever noticed that? I remember one time you told me about a woman who came running in with with no shoes on, right? Because you were talking about the no shoes.
Yeah.
This woman just came in, and like I was getting ready to close the office, and she was like, I need your help. I can't drive home. I have, my legs are bothering me, and she just was very distraught, and I actually was just a little taken aback, but I said, yeah, let's do a session, and I did a session, and she was going to New York, actually. We're in Jersey, and she was able to drive home. It was like...
Did she find her shoes?
I don't know.
Okay.
But she walked out of the office and she drove home, so I was happy for her
and
for that.
And it's amazing how people can find you.
Well, here's how.
Right?
This is how it works.
Well, it's a divine appointment.
Well, that's true, but
well, yeah. Usually we only do appointments, but
no, the divine appointment.
Divine appointment.
Right.
It's like you're going to be. It's like I choose every second of every minute of every hour of every day to be. Have fearless faith, non-resistance to what God is telling me to do and be and go, and pure substance with perfect expression. Yeah. So when I say that, I'm opening myself up to God and I'm telling him, you lead me where I need to go, the person you want me to.
Oh yes.
And they will. They're like, go to this party because there's somebody that needs your help there.
That's right. That's right.
And from that person, it turns out to be a whole family.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Well,
it's just amazing.
What I'm hearing is that it says, as you grow, God will place the teacher before you.
Yes.
And that's what we do.
Yes, it is.
Okay? So as people who get to know us.
And there's that old saying, when your eyes have met your teacher's eyes will disappear. And you get a new teacher.
You get another teacher.
Mentor.
Well, you get mentors, but there are a lot of teachers because there's a lot of aspects that other people are more suited to teach you. Mm-hmm. And,
absolutely.
Their gifts are in that particular area.
Right. It was Archangel Michael who let me go into battle wearing, my sword of faith and my shield of armor and go into battle and do all that stuff. And he was with me all the time. I
just thought you liked to play Wonder Woman or something,
No, it turns out in the past life I was a warrior monk, and I can wield
Were you Joan of Arc?
No.
Okay.
No.
I call on her every now and then.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. Her, Mary Magdalene, Blessed Mother, and a few others.
By my Martin, she would say. She abhorred curse words.
Anyway.
So. And the angels, let's talk about the angels again, can we, a little bit?
The saints were all angels
and
too?
The angels, in reference to the angels, I mean, let's think about this. Every religion, you hear about the angels, right?
But they're not taught.
Every
single
taught. Religion, they're mentioned
but they
in
never
the religion.
Taught. And you're never taught to connect because that would put you into your God presence and release you from your bondage.
Well, in the Catholic religion,
they would call them the shiny ones.
In the Catholic religion, there's your guardian angel you learn about.
Right.
But I mean, everybody has different ideas in reference to the angels. And when I teach angel classes, lots of times what ends up happening is people come to me and they say, well, my father who passed on, he's my angel. And I always like to explain that, you know, and I know I've talked about this before on your show, but it is really key that, you know, angels were not incarnate.
No.
And so that's your spirit guide, your loved one, but not really your angel.
But you can call on a loved one to be your spirit guide.
Yes.
And most of the time that I know of, it's granted.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
However, you know, mistakenly, they haven't earned they haven't gotten the gift of discernment where they can discern.
That's a good word.
The energy,
Spiritual
as
gifts
the spiritual gifts and the energies to be able to differentiate between what is a spirit guide, what is an angel, what is an archangel,
What
and
is
what
an
an
ascended master? Yes.
Right.
Did we go to the
Yes.
same school?
Yes, we did. Many,
And-
many lifetimes ago, Tommy.
Holy Spirit High. You were there?
You know that, right? Okay.
Were you at the prom?
Right. I was wearing lavender.
Chiffon? Lavender chiffon?
Lavender,
Okay.
yeah. Anyway, so, but the only angel that was ever incarnate on this earth, I always like to say this, is Metatron.
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 And that was it.
And he
No,
was
the-
the
Enoch.
Enoch.
was
Enoch was,
Enoch.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And you know about Enoch. We've talked about Enoch before. Did you ever read that book?
I actually did look through
The Book
the
of
book.
Enoch?
I did.
Yeah, Tommy has that book too.
I'm going to give you a gift. You're going to love this.
Okay. I need
Go
a
on
gift.
YouTube. The
Okay.
entire book is there, and they speak it to you.
Ooh.
You
No.
don't have, I'm telling you, it's there.
Really?
and
Yeah, but
so
you don't
is-
get all those
Li-
pictures, do
listen,
you?
you want to know something?
Go ahead.
I listen to the words because you know what? As I reading sometimes, as I'm going through it, you know this. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know this.
Right,
You know, that's all I keep on hearing.
right.
You know this. But when I listen to it and it's like having a conversation with someone. Now, when I'm listening to it, instead of reading it and have to enunciate the words, I'm seeing it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So
See,
when
now,
somebody
I
tells
didn't
me a
know that.
story,
Yeah,
I
and
see
it
it.
teaches you to have patience, not to push forward.
You know?
Yeah.
That's right. That's the,
Yeah, right.
Let me see how this book ends. There's only 1,000 pages or so.
But the pictures in there are really unbelievable
Yes,
too.
they are.
I mean, the
That
charts
book is
and
quite
the pictures.
expensive, by the way. I
And
bought
it's-
it brand new. It was like $75.
But I really
I got
feel
23
it's
Kabbalah
priceless.
books that I'd like to
I
give
really,
away.
I feel it's priceless.
Zohar.
So,
Yeah. If anybody would like them, please take them off my hands. Brand new. I read them all.
did you leave the cliff notes in there for the test on Monday?
I didn't need to.
No? Okay.
I just needed to get to the tree of life, and that, and Kabbalism, and then in Buddhism, and then in
You would love to talk to Stephen. Stephen is
Mother
unbelievable
Mary gave
when
me
it comes to Kabbalah.
the tree
Oh
of
my
life.
God.
That's how I got. That's how you get ascended. Just like go through the tree of life of all these different,
Ketra and all of these
and
names.
figure them all out.
I got it right here.
You need the theology,
I do. I have it in here somewhere.
So
even though there is no division by religion. Let's make that clear.
Nope.
let me ask you guys something. I wanted to ask all of you a question.
Go ahead.
The three of you.
All right.
How do you discern when you're in a healing? How do you discern which angel you're going to call upon? If you're calling upon the angels, or how do you discern exactly how you should proceed?
All right.
Who'd like to
With
go
the healings,
first?
With the healings that I did tonight with Christine,
Mm-hmm.
I had the Holy Spirit flowing through me.
Beautiful.
So I didn't say I didn't have any angels. I always have Michael with me. I have my main four, Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael. So always with me, and I always claim them, and I always invoke them. So I have them for every specific reason, you know. I have Gabriel, if he has a message from God for me to relay to the person I'm working on, okay? I have Raphael to make sure I don't screw it up, all right? I got Michael here to watch my back so nobody comes and gets me while I'm doing this, because I'm losing energy as I'm doing it. I'm placing that energy through them. My hands irradiate. I get very, very hot, and it takes a lot out of me.
See, Tommy, you said that you feel like you lose energy when
Right.
you're doing the healing. I don't feel that way
It's
at
not
all.
that
I get I get recharged.
No, see, I don't get recharged
Exactly.
by it. I had to have Josephine had to give, because it comes through me in such strength as I'm doing it that it exhausts me, and did 3 of them.
Well,
You got a leak somewhere.
Oh boy.
yeah, because how do you feel after you do a healing, Kirsten? Now, that's very interesting to me, Tommy, what you said.
Personally, I feel amazing because I know I'm receiving a healing while I'm healing.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
how we
That's-
feel.
That's
Mutual
very true. But I
sharing.
do know the difference in the
elated.
power that I feel that comes through me. It's more power than I can handle. Maybe I have to ask them to tone it down a little bit, you know, or tweak it so it doesn't affect me so much. But I did a healing one time with on a friend of mine, Kathy, and I did it with Rita Gigante, and I had just gotten over being sick, and I just about passed out in the kitchen. You know,
Really?
from
You
being
don't
zapped.
heed advice very well, do you? That's what your angel just said.
Well, he's giving me a slap behind the head.
Bounce
Because
it.
I take on things when
They're gonna do this to you.
I'm weaker
Play with your
when I
hand.
do it, you know.
But you don't want to take on
No,
that
that means
other.
No.
Yeah,
no,
all
no,
three
you-
of us
you-
are
you-
saying
What
this.
can happen is it's coming from a place of ego.
Yeah.
When it's coming from ego, it's going to deplete you. If
Thank
it's
you,
coming from the
Josephine.
heavens above and your celestial plane, you're going to be. Sometimes I do healings. I'm actually bouncing out of the room when I'm done.
Well, you feel that
You
way.
know what
I'm
I'm
bouncing out of the
thinking?
room.
It's
If I'm
like I
doing-
had a
if
sir- I
I'm-
had like
if I'm doing-
14
If I'm
cappuccinos.
doing one, I'm fine. Even two. This was three, and the issues were quite a few.
You might be
Yeah, but you
trying
might
to
be taking
validate the conclusion of it, which you're not supposed to.
Well,
You're
I
supposed
just-
to say,
I-
it is done.
That's
In the
what I
name of the
said.
Christ, the healing is done.
That's what
Blessed
I said.
be.
I said, claim
And
your,
just like
I
that.
told him, claim your God presence and claim your healing. That's what I gave it
It's
to him.
food for thought.
Well, anyway. So, what were you going to say? You felt?
I was just going to say, like, in general, you seem like like a very passionate person, and I wonder if that is
Yes.
almost what you're.
It's called the
You're-
pitfall of the healer.
That's
That's
what I'm-
what it's called.
It's too much.
It's your passion is
Yes.
Right.
is
It's
what
to
this-
help.
It's
It's
a,
always
it's a
to
very
help.
high passion because sometimes if you're the healer needs to be healed, and you'll fall through all the
I
pitfalls.
call
of
you, I
mind,
call
emotion.
her, now I'll call you too.
Yes, that's all fine and dandy.
Okay.
Right, but we're just
What's the difference?
explaining
You
that.
fixed me in the kitchen, I was fine.
Well, fortunately, you have many spirit. Remember, every psychiatrist needs the best psychiatrist needs their own psychiatrist. The best healers and spiritualists need someone to bounce things off of too.
That's
And
right.
it's just the way it
Well,
is.
we do that all the time.
You know,
Yes.
can we also talk about, since we were talking about the angels before and how they can help people in their everyday life? Lots of times people are not aware when an angel is around them. And I'd like to hear about the experiences that you guys have had in reference to knowing when your angels are present or when a particular angel is present, so that other people, the audience, can understand and, what's happening in their own lives, so
For
that they
me-
can relay it to themselves.
For me-
you know.
Being that I'm on the road a lot and things happen, and sometimes there's incidents that happen on the road, and I know that I'm being guided away from it, because every time I leave that house, I bring Michael with me. And he's always with me. He's in my truck. He's always with me, and there's several others that are in there with me. And I always tell Michael, I said to him, this was the best. I was on the Bell Parkway the other day with a friend of mine who goes through this treachery every single day that takes him to go something like 19 miles, takes him an hour and a half, 2 hours to get to work.
Ooh.
And it's every day. This particular day, I was out there, and I was like maybe an exit or two ahead of him. But we talked on the phone for an hour. Once we got along, traffic never stopped. It kept on going slowly, but then it picked up, and I asked Michael, I said, it's cleared away. And he just did, and we were going 55 miles an hour.
See, amazing.
And I got over there. I
Amazing.
couldn't believe it, but I knew he was with me. Michael is also the great mechanic. He fixes anything mechanical.
Yes.
My truck stalled out on me a block from my house. So I told my wife, honey, do me a favor, call AAA and have them come over and get it, because we don't have that anymore. I forgot to renew it. So I said, how much is it to go 1 block? $125. I sat there in meditation. I said, Michael, you're the great mechanic, start this truck. I turned the key, boom, it started up. I couldn't
Yeah.
believe it.
Beautiful.
I said, I promise I'll bring it to the mechanic tomorrow. It started up the next day, I brought it to the mechanic.
Beautiful. See how perfect that is? I have a client that Michael saved her from a horrible accident on the Parkway one time. And it was Michael. She knew it was Michael. She just knew it. You know how you just know
That's right.
which angel it is sometimes? Regular, ordinary, everyday people realize this. So how about you, Kirsten?
I love the numbers. I love angel numbers. Every minute of the day, I'm just like, I'm where I'm supposed to be. You know, it's just, for me, that's probably the biggest gift that I was able to understand.
Well, what do you mean by that, so that you can explain
Triplets.
it to the audience? Like
Triplets.
how the indication is that you get a sign
Yes,
of a particular number?
Of a particular number, very good. And it could be for what you're going through at that moment. You experience something and all of a sudden you direct your eyes and you'll see a particular number, and you kind of just, I mean, for me, I Google it, hey, I'm like, oh, this is what this is, you know, and then I'm like,
Angel synchronicity.
It's synchronicity.
and it's like a serious conversation, which I'm definitely having.
Tomato, tomato.
That's beautiful.
You see, we're fighting over
How
here.
about, oh, well, instead of that, could
but
you
you're
answer
joking.
my question? How do you?
Oh my goodness. I can
Okay.
actually see them.
Yes.
And know when I have the spiritual gifts of discernment, so I can feel their vibrations. I know which ones are my arc, which ones are the ones that have been with me my whole life. I know which ones are the spirit guides. I know when we have other beings of light that are from different dimensions that are with me. The visuals take place when I see when I need to see. They'll show it to me. Because other than that, we wouldn't be able to drive or do anything, because then you start seeing everything. When I call Archangel Michael, usually I'll come and feel his presence come with me, but he always says you are part of us now, so it's like you carry that energy, just like Mother Mary said you carry her energy. Archangel Mel, Melchizedek was the...
Melchizedek.
He lets me call him Archangel Mel.
All right,
Yeah,
call him now.
I was thinking to myself, you're saying Mel, I knew who you meant,
Right,
but
he lets me
I was
call him
gonna
that,
say.
you know.
Melchizedek. Now you got me doing it.
All right.
Right, so,
Melchizedek.
you know, it was Thanksgiving, and it was like 2009. I was, my spiritual gifts were coming out. Remember, there's a whole process where you got to open your heart with Archangel Shamuel, and the catalyst is to help people, right? And we were at that point where I was going to go out into the world and help people and do extrications, as I call them, and do house cleansing and have people come in session and remove various different entities and, you know, go through their psyche and their, you know, whatever their conflicts were and clear all that as well. And Archangel, I was in the shower, it was Thanksgiving of 2009, I'll never forget, because it was the most empowering experience I've ever had. It was euphoric and just beautiful. And I'm in the shower and I have like 30 people downstairs for Thanksgiving dinner, and I had to go upstairs and make sure that I looked presentable. And I went in the shower and I'm cleaning up and I see this humongous white orb. It wasn't an orb, it was an actual, it was like yeah, but it was like from the floor to the ceiling, and it walked past the bathroom door, and I was like, who's there, you know? Then, you know, I got out of the shower and I went into the bedroom, and he just walked right through me and zapped me, and I was like on a completely on the greatest high I've ever been in my life, and it's been that way ever since. And I knew that, you know, he said, you're part of my order of the Christ consciousness. Everything you do is in the name of the Christ.
You just said that, Christ consciousness. I heard that.
Right, the lion consciousness, because I'm a Leo, born in the lion consciousness, and part of the central sun, and the solar disk, and you know. But I didn't know this till later on. You know, all the interactions I had afterwards with various angels that came through, like Archangel Samuel, who's part of the powers, came to me to help me learn how to discern and fight against or clear the energies of various different lower entities that were here, that were not human, let's put it that way, and discern which ones were, you know.
Benevolent and malevolent.
Well, exactly. So, you know, many things went on where the different interactions with angels.
See, I happen to know that.
I mean, I see them. I think, you know,
one of the things over the years, because we've been friends a long time.
they're ethereal, so I don't always need them to appear. I just need to feel their vibrational frequency to know who they are.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And people also report how they find feathers
Yeah,
or
dimes.
they
I
and
find dimes all the time.
Well, dimes really, you know, to me, that's Mother Mary.
I find dimes like you cannot
I mean,
believe.
that's a feminine.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
And every time I pick one up, all right, I thank God for the symbol of abundance that keeps
Yes.
flowing into my life, and that's what I tell them. And although it's only, I mean, you can leave a couple of $1,000 bills if they have them. That would be nice, but I'll take the dimes.
You know, Archangel Chael that I also brought, remember I was talking to you
Yeah.
about, and down there, somewhere down there is our beautiful angel.
Well, you could
that's
clue down the camera on the angel.
Yeah, that's the angel of abundance. And many times you'll see that particular angel, a picture of that angel or the statue of the angel carrying a basket of bread. And so anyone who's having any kind of financial problems right now, that's really the angel to maybe say a little prayer to and ask for some help. Just like, yes, and just like women who are dealing with any kind of you know, motherly issues in reference to wanting to become pregnant or something like that, just ask especially Gabriel to help. You know, so each angel, and you know, there's a lot of angel books out there that you can buy. You could
got
look
one in
it
my
up on
box
the
right
internet. Yeah, you could look it up on the internet. But it's really, I think, important for everyday people because let's face it. I mean, we have worked with this kind of work. Well, I know myself. I've been with the angels since I was 4 years old. But the thing is, for everyday people who are maybe just starting to recognize this, if they get an understanding of each angel's...
Well, you just tweaked the question for me.
I'm
Right, and
sorry, what?
Okay, well, here's the
we'd
question
like
I
to
have
do,
for you.
as you like to do angel workshops, and you explain.
I got a beauty for her.
What?
As an,
But I'm also, I
as
do a lot more than that.
As an American Indian shaman, okay, when you're doing those things, rituals, isn't that of the elements, you know, earth, wind,
Yes.
all of this? What
Yes.
angels represent that? Do you call angels in for that?
Well, there's different schools of thought. No, actually, when I'm doing any kind of a Native American healing, because you know you're dealing with a different kind of energy. Although the angels are always with me,
Yes.
and in my office,
touching
you
me. They keep on touching
came
me.
to my office. You said a long time ago,
Yes, I did,
and so
right.
you saw all the angels around.
Absolutely.
Okay, and that's you haven't been there yet, Tommy. There's angels everywhere.
coming. I talked to Lisa. She said we're
So even
going.
when I'm in a Native American healing, even when I'm doing an extraction or a soul retrieval, etc., the angels are still surrounding me, but the ritual part of it, I'm calling more upon the
Gaia.
Great Spirit, Mother Earth. I'm calling upon the
Mother
animal
Gaia.
kingdom.
That's
I'm
what I
calling
was
upon
right,
earth
that's what I,
energies.
the
Yes.
animal totem.
Okay,
totem, yeah, that's
right,
beautiful.
exactly, and the 4 directions. So it's a little bit different,
Do you
but
do the 4 directions during the course of healing like that?
well, when I'm rattling, I bring in all the directions. Yes. Look, when I do a Reiki session, okay, I am also a Holy Fire Karuna Reiki Master. You know, I have all these titles and names and certifications and all that, but really what it is people come to my office, they have a problem, and I through the guidance of Great Spirit, Holy Spirit, I fix it for them. I don't fix it.
They do.
Spirit fixes it, and they fix it in communion with Spirit. However, but what you had asked me was in reference to the directions and everything. Even when somebody comes to see me for a Reiki session, I ask them if I can also include some Native American healing. And Kirsten, you've had a Reiki session with me, actually a few. And in my Reiki session, I'm doing a regular Reiki session, but in there I'm also doing drumming, rattling, bringing in the directions and et cetera like
Right, I
that,
have an
and
affirmation
clearing
I
and
use all the
pulling.
time.
And
It's like from the north, the south, the east, the west comes my
Yeah, but
endless
it's-
good. My endless
yeah,
good
but
comes to me in
it's-
endless ways.
it's a combination that I use. But then sometimes the person will come to me for just simply a Native American healing. It all depends on what the person's problem is, and that is what I do.
Exactly.
Now, if somebody comes and they have a phobia, you know what? my clinical hypnosis, that's going to work better for them.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So it all depends. But the angels, no matter what the problem is, you can call upon the angels and ask them to help you, because they're the messengers for you and God. You can go directly to God, but you can also ask the angels to, you know, help too.
It's like having
The
a
more
tutor.
the merrier.
It's like having, well, the merrier?
Merrier.
Okay. It's like having a tutor.
That was cute.
You know, a special tutor to help you communicate with the Father, or to expedite it.
Yes,
I
very
find
good.
that
Very
I
good.
find that works a lot for me. You know, expedites the healings.
Me too.
when I
Sorry
do
I
it.
get all worked up about it, but I'm very passionate
don't
about
worry.
my
You
work.
weren't worked up. It was-
Just like you get all worked up
You know,
about it.
the
course.
Christ would say,
We all
all the
do.
resolutions of all your experience resonate in your biomagnetic field. So sometimes it's like, you know, not think too much about what needs to be done when that person comes in.
You just do it.
They might think they're coming for one thing, but I'm like, okay, this is what's going to happen.
True.
I was like, I'm the healer. I know what to do. I said, your spiritual loved ones are going to come through at the end. This is not what needs to be done. I need to do this is a... But remember, it's always at a place of love, and it's always
By
always
empowering them.
invoked
yeah.
with love and never any fear.
When you
So
empower
the
them.
strengthening of their resolve and going to their core conflicts
Yeah.
and giving them resolutions or clearing things or
Yeah.
ethereal, astral, planetary. I mean, it's an
You
amazing
know,
process.
Josephine, when you were talking about love now, that brings me, I have to
We
tell you.
forgot that is the main message.
That is
Yes,
the main
thank
love
you.
is the light.
Which I have to tell you, I mean, I've temporarily put it on hold, but I have a magazine that I publish. I think you know,
Yeah.
the Hope Holistic magazine. Well, anyway, Kirsten would write a column for that magazine, Love and Light, right?
Yep.
Isn't that
Yep.
right? Because all her work she does, that's her main focus is love. And it sounds to me what you're talking about too.
Oh, absolutely.
Same thing, what we all do. It
One love
comes
is the
from,
light.
yes.
I always tell
Yes,
people.
that's
The
so
truth is the light, the
beautiful.
light is the truth,
Beautiful,
and every
beautiful.
eye will see truth before the light. That
The
is
eye
for
sees
certain.
truth before the light because the eye is the eyes of God in every one of us.
Oh, I
he
love
sees,
that.
He sees through us, all right? And even the blind man, all right, can see
Oh, absolutely. He's got
through the light of Christ because he
Absolutely.
sees through your eyes.
I love that, Tommy. That was wonderful.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Well, no, okay.
Yes, I loved it.
It did.
Oh,
Really.
We can go into our spiritual selves and be here for 3
I just
hours or
think
4
about going.
hours.
Well, we don't have that
Yeah.
time.
So what else can
We're running
we-
near, so let's kind of
Okay.
come to some conclusion.
There's a surmise.
All right, so summarize anything. So Josephine, overall, the angels, your interaction with the angels, okay, how they help you in practice and how they help you in generally in life and family and everything else. You know,
They're infused and permeated my being. There is nothing I think, any thought I think that is not of God, the Christ, the Holy Spirit, with all the angels that encamp the divine.
I always include them all
every
the time.
second of every minute of every day.
And you, Mary?
And me. Well, my first experience with an angel was when I was 4, and they haven't left me since. And how do I interact with the angels? They're just part of me.
When they came, when the angel interacted with you at 4 years old, just
Yes.
quickly, because we're
Go right
close
ahead.
on time.
That's
When
fine.
he interacted with you at 4 years old,
That's fine.
did he identify himself?
It was a she.
A she.
It was more of a feminine energy
Energy?
to
Okay.
me. Yes, actually.
You gotta remember, you're 4 years
yes,
old, so, yeah.
actually. Well, yeah, but let me tell you something. And if I was in another family, they would have said, oh, that's her imaginary friend. Well, it wasn't my imaginary friend because I come from a very spiritual family and they
Okay.
recognized it.
Right.
So,
And
but anyway, yes, she identified herself and she has been with me since. And it isn't then just her. I've also had other experiences, yes,
Okay.
with this individual.
Kirsten, it's the same thing.
Yeah, I guess what I've
we
just
should
learned.
collaborate on a book about it, about situations that the angels have helped with
Absolutely,
ourselves and with
absolutely.
everyone else.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just in general, finding that it's easy to connect with the angels when I'm able to get myself just in a calm state and just kind of listen, you know, look, feel,
Silence
and
is golden.
bring it. But that's the thing, everybody is always so busy that the possibilities are endless if they would just take a minute and quiet the mind.
Quiet the mind.
Right, and that's why it's important to teach about angels and meditation.
That's a good point.
See, the quieting of the
Meditation.
mind is a thing. Through meditation, you learn how to do that. It is said that the mind, the human mind, can comprehend 150,000 thoughts a day, all right? Silly thoughts that go through your head. And some of them can be harmful if you say them, if you orate them. And you say them because they'll go out into the universe and manifest. And whether it's good or bad, it's going to come to you. So you want to really, watch what you say, all right? And
May I say something about that? Because that's absolutely wonderful and true. Because when someone comes to see me to stop smoking, and I hypnotize them to stop smoking, the final thought that I leave them with when they're leaving my office is the affirmation of, I control cigarettes, cigarettes don't control me. I control cigarettes, cigarettes don't control me. And that, if they put that thought out there even 1,000 times a day if they have to, it works.
the mantra, they say it takes, I think it's 21 days or 30 days.
It's 21 days
21 days.
to change brain chemistry.
All right, anyway, we've got to wrap this up. I'd like to thank our crew here at CTV Studio. It's Spectrum. And I'd like to thank our guests for coming here and our studio guests. And I hope you can come back and we can continue on this someday.
Thank you
All right.
very much. Thank you for being
right.
here, Kirsten. Thank you, Josephine.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Tommy.
Thank you for having me.
You're a staple here. The door's never
Blessed
closed for you.
be.
You know,
Thank
all
you.
for you, all for you.
Blessed.
And I'd like to thank our sponsors for our food tonight, the Antonio's Pork Store in Tottenville, and Aardvark Pest Control in Great Kills. All right, so I guess that's about it. We'll wave goodbye now.
Thank you. Many blessings. Many blessings. Many angel blessings.
Yes.